If you were to ask me what my favorite Thomas Wooden Railway set was, I'd tell you I didn't have an answer for that yet. But if you were to ask me what set brought me the most nostalgia, I'd tell you that it's the 2002 Roundhouse set. Now, I never got this set, but it was always on the public train table at my local Barnes & Noble, and I remember playing on it every time I went there. At the time, it was the biggest and grandest set I'd ever come across, and it was full of items I didn't even have, and was the way I found out that items like Duke and Skarloey even existed. If you asked me back then what my favorite set was, this one would have surely been the answer. So you could imagine my surprise when I opened up an old pamphlet from 2001 and saw that this existed, the 1997 version, the bigger and better version of my favorite set. The minute I saw this, I thought to myself, now this is the best Thomas set, and I think many other TWR collectors might agree with me. So when I finally had enough of the same and similar pieces, I built it for myself. And what had years of excitement leading up to it just turned out to be a slight disappointment. And I'll tell you why. So starting off, a quick summary of the set. It was released in 1997 as said before, and was quite a grand set for that time, and was the first set to ever include the Roundhouse. As you can see, it's a very involved set and includes many destinations and accessories, some of which being a bit obscure. This set's characters and rolling stock include Thomas, D199, Culdy, Stepney, Skarloey, Scruffy, the Sodor Bay Tugboat, the Sodor Mail Coach, the Circus Train, Sir Topham Hatt, and Workman. Just looking at it might give you the idea that this is the perfect set, giving you a multitude of characters and destinations. But while it is all that, where it's lacking is in its layout. First of all, the circus train can't fit under anything that's above the track. Imagine how frustrating that would be for small kids. They can't take the circus train around the layout without having to take the animals out. Also, good luck trying to manage the circus train with the turntable, and that's another thing. You can only turn an engine pulling one four-wheeled piece of rolling stock, so definitely no circus train or mail coach, and you can't turn D199 with anything. But you might be thinking to yourself, well, I just won't turn an engine with rolling stock. Well then, let's take a look at this layout. You can have a train depart from the sheds, switch onto the main line, go up and around, and come back to the sheds in the same direction so you can do it again. No issue there. But if you try to send the train the other way, or on the back line, look where they end up. So you can't have a train use the back line with the bay bridges without having to stop it or disconnect its rolling stock. So my overall thoughts on this set is that it's a good set if you want to get a bunch of destinations and characters and rolling stock to do your own thing with. But on its own, this set just isn't a very good set. The only reason being is that some of its play features are unplayable, and that's the last thing you want in a children's toy. As mentioned before, this set was updated in 2002, and many Wooden Railway fans saw it as a major downgrade to the previous 5 years. But I'd like to think the opposite. First of all, this version is far less advanced, and has a lot less track and destinations, and most of the characters and rolling stock have been swapped out for other items, including Rusty, Henry, Skarloey, Duke, the Sodor Line Caboose, the cement cars, and Bertie. Just by looking at it, you can tell this version is more simple, which is where it excels, as the previous version tried to overdo itself in a sense. I think the best parts about this set are, well, no circus train, and also its track layout, utilizing one main line and a shortcut line to the sheds. No secondary main line that you have to use the turntable to run trains on. It also has a circuit of road, which is always a must-have for all your roadway vehicles. But overall, I think this set is perfect. It's got plenty of track, good number of destinations, a roadway, plenty of good characters, some more hard to come by than others, and it's just all around fun to play with. And that right there is a win for a Wooden Railway set. But just when you thought the video was about done, check the timestamp, because we're not. We still have this to talk about. This of course being the 2005 Sights and Sounds set. Now this set isn't technically a variation of the Roundhouse set, but it is a set that has the Roundhouse in it, so I'm counting it. So what's good about this set? Well, it's the first one to include roadway destinations, which I'm a fan of. It's also the first one to include the deluxe Roundhouse over the standard one, which is a nice change. Another thing this set did that I like is it includes characters that wouldn't usually be grouped together. Sure, you got Thomas and James, but you also got Salty and Cranky and Elizabeth and even Thumper. It also strangely includes the posable figurine of Sir Topham Hatt, which I thought was discontinued 3 years before this set was released. But of course, most importantly, let's take a look at the track layout. Let's say James departs from the sheds on the main line, goes over the viaduct and around the scrub and shine and through the tunnel. He switched back onto the line he started on and is now back at the sheds in a different direction? And since the main line is a loop, it'd be the same if you went the other direction. In fact, every line on this layout feeds into the turntable, which isn't a problem if you don't mind turning the engines every time, but if you want to have an engine pull rolling stock, then good luck. But overall, my thoughts on this set are pretty much the same as the 1997 version. Great selection of destinations and characters, but it's just frustrating to play with. But just when you thought we were about done again, I'll remind you that this set exists. The 2013 Ultimate Island of Sodor set. I guess Fisher-Price forgot about the 100-piece set from 1993 because they think this thing is ultimate. So what even is there to say about this set? It's got a few good characters, a few good destinations, and the track layout doesn't all feed into the turntable. What this set is the perfect starter set. And that's all I have to say about it. So now that we've taken a good look at them, I'm going to rate every set we've talked about today. Starting with the Sights and Sounds set, which I'll give a 3 out of 10. It has great components, but isn't very fun to play with. I'm going to give the 1997 Roundhouse set a 5 out of 10. Great supply of track, destinations, characters, rolling stock, and accessories that are perfect for doing your own thing with, but not very well thought out. I'm actually going to give the Ultimate Island of Sodor set a 9 out of 10. There's just not enough wrong with it. The reason I didn't give it a 10 out of 10 is I think the track layout could have been a bit better, but only by a little bit. And finally, the 2002 Roundhouse set, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10, because it's just perfect. And it's all you could ever ask for from Thomas Wooden Railway. So I think what we can learn from this is, if you're going to make something showy and eye-catching, make sure it actually works. And don't start drooling for the shiny one. Always look for practicality. Of course, let me know what you think.